preachers got it all. All we got for our money is that they've got some great big church. They robbed us blind. We made some Uncle Tom rich. You're not free with your Cadillac. You're doing just exactly what the man wants you to do. Buy his goods, so you'll never have any real economic freedom. You're not free. You're a slave.
Good. And the soundboard beats me to it.
Nailed it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drink and Think Trivia. My name is Doug. As always, I am joined by my life partner in crime, the one, the only, Lucas, aka Sarge. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am doing wonderful. Me and Doug have just had our wonderful beginning roundup of going through what we video gamed before we got here. Things are great. Life is good. We're going to be kind. We're going to rewind and visit your local blockbuster. Blah, 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 blah. Going down to your local Blockbuster and donate funds because they're not there anymore. It's probably a Cato's.
Or Hollywood Video. Well, no, Hollywood Video's gone too.
Nope.
So
Nope.
there's one. There's one.
Yo.
There's one Blockbuster.
Yeah, it's in like
Blockbuster.
one
Seattle
Blockbuster in,
or
like Wisconsin. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah.
I remember that. Anyway, I'm doing good. How you doing, buddy? What's up?
Pretty good. Just been chilling out, taking a long weekend for 4th of July. So tomorrow we're heading up to my sister's. We're gonna hang out, go do some beach time, some pool time. But other than that, I've been hanging out. So
That's nice.
we've been gone for 2 weeks. So last week was you were up here. I was having my birthday, and we were having a good time.
Good time.
So, for those of you who are not in the know, or those of you who are just joining us, the first time ever, welcome. We're glad you're joining us. But it's the last Thursday of the week, which means it is a themed night. This theme night is near and dear to Lucas and I's hearts because it's the 90s theme night. We are both 90s babies. I mean, Lucas is an honorary 90s baby, but
I'm basically a 90s baby.
but yeah, we're gonna go all through all things 90s, and we're gonna have a great night. Gonna have some prizes. Gonna have a great time. If you want to play, it's over there now. There is QR code. Scan that. That'll take you to Triv Now. That 4 alphanumeric code is what's gonna get you in. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw it up in chat in Twitch. We are always happy to help. We're always happy to let you guys get in here and play, and we want to make sure that is the easiest way to do it. So, scan that QR code or go to play.trivnow.com/search. Use that 4-digit alphanumeric code in the top right, and that'll get you in there. That's how you play. But how do you play? We have 3 rules for that.
Rule number 1 is don't be a dick. Doug has a sign of it behind him. Basically, all you need to know about that is that you don't be a dick. I don't know how much plainer we can get than the simplest rule in the world, which is be nice to the people around you, cut up with the hosts, have a good time, enjoy yourself, but don't do something that will make someone else not have a good time, because that is being a dick.
I mean, I don't know. It's just...
That move is prohibidado. Prohibidado.
Oh, yeah. And what do you say that in? I
I
forget.
say that in Spanish because that's how exotic and not allowed it is.
That's
exactly.
correct. Couldn't have said it any better. Don't be a dick.
But because we are so hard-headed and so stubborn, we have rule number 2, which is...
It's rule number 1 again.
Yeah, just don't be a dick,
Duh.
man. Oh, it should have been don't have a cow, man. Yeah.
Just don't have a cow, man.
Yeah. And rule number 3.
Plain and simple. You do you, boo-boo. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Let your freak flag fly. Just let it all hang out. Have a good time. We're here to enjoy each other's company. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you can't hear the soundboard. Yeah, no, that's fair. We're working on that. The soundboard sounds need adjusted slightly. But just enjoy yourself. Have a good time. As long as it doesn't infringe on rule number 1 or rule number 2.
Actually,
That's good.
I know how to fix this. I know exactly how to
The
fix this.
soundboard comes out of us.
The soundboard comes out of computer audio, so I need to turn that up, but I need to turn off. Why is it turned? And then that should work from there. We'll find out.
Should.
Whatever.
There's only one way to find out.
Whether not being, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So, if that sounded good, cool. If not,
No.
we'll worry about it later.
Oh.
Anyway, that's the whole 3 rules. Plain, simple, easy. Boom, 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 done.
Yep. We have 48 questions tonight of varying different topics, all from the 90s. So as long as you know from 90 to 98.9, you're good. That's
I love
it.
how you tried to ditch 1999 there. That was cold.
I tried to, and then I was like, might as well include it. But
Other than our normal game tonight, once you get into Triv Now, the games that we will be playing in Twitch chat are as follows. 3. Game number 1 is exclamation free. If Doug or I become so imbibed throughout the night that I think that's a good word. That actually sounded way too fancy for it. If we get a little tipsy, we're probably gonna
inebriated.
say something. We're probably gonna say something that might give away an answer, or who knows? There may be Easter eggs hid in there. And if you find those, it's a free answer. You just go and type exclamation free into the chat. It will add it to our counter of free answers we've given away. The second game we play is exclamation grammar, spelled with an A. We're looking for grammatical errors in the questions. Doug and I are not very successful at the writings or the words and the stuffs.
We're not
So-
we're not talking about commas or periods, or we're talking about like we used the wrong there. We spelled apparent wrong and spelled it a parent instead of apparent.
Doug got way too complicated there. We wrote the and
Yeah.
when we didn't mean to.
I'm gonna laugh when that's like in the first question of the and.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So that is the grammar game. The final game, which will sadly not be happening tonight, is the exclamation Kim game. If you're here with us regularly, my wife sometimes slows down trivia by not answering because she gets distracted. Because I mean, my voice is so melodic she falls asleep, I imagine.
Yeah.
But really, she's at work tonight, so she probably will not be playing. Therefore, there will be no yelling at her. But if I were to scream Kimberly's name, you could go exclamation Kim, and you can count how many times I've had to yell at her to motivate her. It's fun. She
Gosh.
hates it.
Make sure every question when you're answering, hit submit. Type up your question, or select if it's a multiple choice, select it, and then hit submit. That's pretty easy. Thank you, Kenny, for
Genie.
6 months of subscribing. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. We are a small trivia. I think we're the third largest trivia on Twitch, which is still only like 10, 12 viewers, but whatever.
It doesn't matter.
We love that you all come out and enjoy your time with us. We do this every week. Most every week. We didn't do it last week, obviously, but with that, I say we get into it with what we're drinking. Oh, see,
Yes.
see, 3 for a curve. Thought you were gonna start trivia, but no.
Drunks.
Yeah, I'm
Drink.
Coors
drink.
Light. Coors Light.
Drunk. It's the apple. You guys know the apple. It's the apple. And then
And then
there's the red, white. There's Salute to America because it's 4th of July. Doug's not patriotic. Douglas.
I have it. It's downstairs.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen. Don't worry.
I bought Doug for his birthday.
Ugh.
I got 500. Was it? Is it a? Is it? It's not a fifth. What is it?
No, it's a half handle.
It's a half a handle of Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry.
Vodka.
Oh my God.
not red, white, and berry.
No, it's the vodka. Benjamin's drinking Zima, and we now have to shift him into UVA. And Mama Fafro, I got that. But you know, options are options.
All right. Mad Dog
Drinking done?
Mad Dog 2020 is that's the end of the night thing.
You just say Mad Dog 2020. Did they make that by the year,
Nah, it's
or is it actually called 2020?
yeah, it's Mad Dog
Oh, of course
2020.
it is. I know. Like I could read that.
No.
God, Zima.
But with that, let's jump in to our questions for this evening. Starting with June in the 90s. This is like current events, but so take it away.
This is Doug's current events. June in the 90s. This is sort of current events. Going to give you an event that happened in June from 1990 to 1999. You tell us what year that was. There are no repeats. So once you answer a year, it will not be repeated. Let's start with the Sega Channel. Cable's first on-demand video game service closes down. So when did the Sega Channel close down? Between 1990 and 1999.
This is a bonkers like technology, because Sega and Nintendo both had, you could buy there's like an adapter pack that you would connect to your console, you'd hook to your cable, and you would buy that channel, and when you turn to that channel, there was like a game of the week. So if it was like Sonic, you get to play Sonic for a week of just whatever. Nintendo went even farther and did a game, or an episode of the week for a game. So there's actually a Legend of Zelda game out there that you would tune in every week. You would try to earn a high score, and if you got the high score, they would announce your name the next week at the beginning, at the top of the hour, at the top of the week, saying like, "Oh, last week so and so had first place with this amount of points," and it was essentially a Zelda game just spread over like 16 weeks.
If anyone was curious, that was my inaugural glasses cleaning of the Doug rant of something super cool that I had already heard, because he did fill me in on this story before we started, and I could still hear him. It blows my mind how neat.
Look,
It blows my mind that we had a streaming service for games. Like, it amazes me.
so I have
Patty!
I have a prescription.
I have this.
That what do you think's in there? What do you think?
I've got a bad case of love it. Yeah, no, I know what it is. Guess what the answer was? It's 19 and 98.
No repeats. So 98 is
98's
now
gone.
out. Michael Andretti, John Andretti, and Mario Andretti finished first, second, and third respectively in the Miller 200 kart race in Wisconsin. What year was that?
First bonus point of the night. Doug has on a Powerline shirt. What year was Powerline released? Well, you know what I mean. It's a Goofy movie. If you
Goofy
didn't know it was a
movie.
Goofy movie, shame on you.
Also,
The first Goofy movie, what year in Twitch chat did it come out?
so Michael Andretti, John Andretti is Michael Andretti's cousin. Mario
Yep.
Andretti is Michael Andretti's father.
Yep, knew that.
Mario Andretti's cousin finished 11th in this race.
Was it another Andretti or was it a
It was
cousin with a
an-
different name?
Nope, another Andretti.
Of course it was. The
In
Andrettis.
11th, but he was 3 laps behind. Although Mario Andretti finished 2 laps behind second place. So what the hell happened in that race that third place was
All right,
2
all right.
laps behind?
So IndyCar in this era had some weird stuff going on. I remember that. And I'm assuming this is an IndyCar race or it's a kart race. I can't remember the other.
Kart. It's kart.
Yes,
See,
it's kart. So it is kart. So kart and Indy hadn't fused yet, and they fought with each other. So they had tire wars. And at points, some guys would run certain tires and they would just fall apart. So at one point, the Indy 500 almost got canceled. 6 cars ran. And like 2 Andretti's were the only 2, or maybe it was Schumacher. I don't remember. Anyway, like 2 cars were the only cars on the lead lap. And the other 4 cars finished like 4 laps down, but finished 5th in the Indy 500. Kart and Indy were weird in the 90s.
well,
But I digress.
that'd be 1991.
Yeah. Early 90s. You can't touch this. Peaks on the charts at number 8 in 1990 what? Blah. So we've got 90 to 99, and we have Doug going for his best Doc Brown imitation.
I really
Um,
I really should have gotten frosted tips for tonight.
Oh dear God.
I would
Please
have
no.
I would have committed.
Yeah, well, that's fair. All I wanted was dad glasses, and I couldn't find mine. Although, no one answered the question for the bonus point. I'm going to leave it for the entire round. If you
Yeah.
can tell me what year a Goofy movie came out, Doug's wearing a Powerline shirt. Both of our shirts are 90s themed tonight.
Yep.
And the correct answer here is 1990 exactly.
A jury in Anchorage, Alaska blames recklessness for the Exxon Valdez disaster, allowing victims of the oil spill to seek up to $15 billion in damages. What year did the jury find them reckless?
They make, I can't remember which podcast this is. It's one of the Wondery ones, but they do a whole thing about the Exxon Valdez thing. And I don't know why. I had always heard that when I was a kid, but I could not piece together that it was like the gas company Exxon.
I
The
have
Valdez part confused me so much.
I have this weird like gap in my memory. Not even a gap, just a shift. Where
Yep.
like to me, Exxon Valdez happened in like 2007. I don't know why. I remember the Exxon Valdez like happening. I remember seeing it on the news, but for some reason I like transposed it like 20 years later, and it was like, oh, obviously it happened in the 2000s, 2010s.
Yeah, I know, right? I think that's because of the second oil spill thing in the Gulf. Katie Bug got the answer right for your shirt, by the way.
Yep. All right. Well, that would be 1994 is when the Exxon Valdez, the jury found that the Exxon Valdez was due to recklessness.
Da, 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 bop. I mean, that wasn't appropriate. That it was because she, whatever. Batman and Robin premieres in Los Angeles. I do think Katie Bug is Team Caitlin, right? Like I'm not delusional by that.
I'm pretty sure that she's been that in the past.
Team Caitlin got a bonus point there, so if it's not correct, I'll fix it later.
Yep.
Batman and Robin. So is this Batman and Robin? This is Val Kilmer as Batman, isn't it? Or is it?
This
no?
is
Yes.
Ivy, Freeze are the bad guys.
So we were going through this because we watched the two what's his name? Who's in the new Flash movie?
Ezra Miller.
No, Batman.
Oh,
The dude who
Keaton.
plays Batman. Keaton. We watched the two Keaton Batmans while we were at Kim's parents. And then it's Clooney. And then it's either Val Kilmer and then Clooney, or it's Clooney then Val Kilmer. Because those two don't match up.
Well, and
two
also,
movies close together.
but they had the difference of one had the nipple suit and one had the suit whose neck couldn't turn. So every time he looked up, he was like,
That's Keaton. Keaton's Batman can't turn his head. It's hilarious.
so Clooney had the nipples then.
Correct answer here was 1997, but they swapped Kilmer and Clooney out. And the point here, though, was Batman and Robin was that movie. They kept the same Robin, though, and it's a famous person, the person who played Robin. Anyway, that's the next one. I'll figure it out.
Batman and Robin
1997
was
the
Chris,
answer to that.
Chris O'Donnell, but
Yeah, so Chris O'Donnell from it's NCIS, isn't he?
Yep.
Or one of those.
yeah.
He was the same Robin in the previous movie, but they swapped Batmans, which I
Yeah.
just think is funny.
He's NCIS Los Angeles.
There it is.
He was D'Artagnan in
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers.
Yes. If you go back and look at the like Batman movies from the 90s, the people that are in them. The second Batman movie with Keaton has Christopher Walken in it. He plays the villain. And he has like blazing tipped hair. It's like all white, which is a Tim Burton film. Most of the characters in it look like Tim Burton characters, but I digress. Next question.
Well, British singer Dido released debut album No Angel, which I admitted to this yesterday. I saw this fact and saw I was looking up like events that happened in June in this year, and like was looking through the year, and Dido showed up, and I was like, that's not a larger white man, because I mixed it up with Dio and thought Dido and Dio were the same person.
I remember you telling me that. I giggled. Of course, Crapentiny's power went out. Oh my goodness. What you got?
I got 1999.
99. Penultimate question of the round. The Stanley Cup final, Penguins beat the Blackhawks 6-5 for a 3-1 series win and their second consecutive Stanley Cup.
Oh, fuck Penguins.
Wait, did they only play 5 games for the Cup in the 90s? Was it
No,
not a best
no.
of 7?
The best is. I think it was
Or
5.
3-1 series win. It must have been a best of 5.
Yeah, because that was they won the cup that day.
Yeah, 3-1. I mean, 3-1. I mean, that makes sense. I'm just so confused now. Let's see here. I got 7 of 8. I got 8 of 8. The correct answer here. This was in 1992. Shout out to Kim. And
Last question. This is your wager. Batman Forever releases with a record 528 million weekend. So in their first weekend, they made 528 million. It was the highest grossing movie in one weekend up to that point.
oh, that makes sense. So, Batman Forever is the Keaton Batman, or not Keaton. Batman Forever is the Val Kilmer Batman. Batman and Robin is the Clooney one because I saw that in our research there. And then Keaton had Batman and Batman Returns. And Batman was like 89 and Batman Returns was like 92. The last 2 years were the years you and Joe Titus were born. Kim was born in 92. That's why I was shouting that out.
90.
Yep, 90 boy. Taking it personal. Yeah, no, I know. You start reflecting that's going on 30 years ago.
Yep. More
We're
than
over
30
30.
years ago.
I know, I'm well aware. I don't want to talk.
I am 33 now, sir.
I am. Oh wow, how old am I? Am I
Oh,
34?
you're almost-
35?
You're almost 34.
I am almost 34. That's it.
No,
I
no,
can
no.
math.
You are 34.
I am 34. I'll be 35 at the end of this year,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you're before
Did
me.
I math check out?
Yeah.
89?
You're older than I am.
I know I'm older than you, but that math does check out.
Yep.
No, it doesn't. 34. I should be 34 this year.
You're turning 34 this year. You're already 33.
There it is. We can math
Yep.
the final question.
All right, well, that's 1995. And the next one is a multiple choice. It's about pop culture. Take it away, Lucas.
Yeah, pop culture. Pokemon started gaining popularity in the 90s with a show and a bunch of games, including Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Pinball, and a cameo in Super Smash Bros. Pokemon released 3 colored games in the 90s in the US. Which of the following was not released in the US during the 90s?
Bonus point in Twitch chat.
Oh boy.
Which came first, the video game, or the Game Boy video game, or the anime?
Oh boy.
By Japan timeline, not by US timeline, because those are off by about 2 years.
Kenny says the game.
Kenny is correct.
Kenny. Which team is Kenny? Kenny, which bunghole are you? Actually, I probably could check the picture. Kenny beats everybody. Everybody, I like the weigh in. I appreciate everybody's attempt.
Yep.
All that.
The game was released first, and the anime was actually originally released as a promotional material for the games, which took on a life of its own and then became ridiculously popular. And now we're on season like 35 of actually no, we're on like 28, and
That's insane.
Ash finally became the ultimate super champion, whatever. And now there's new
Pokemon Master.
protagonists. There's new protagonists coming out in the next season. So
What? Correct answer was Pokemon Green, which was released only in Japan. Doug, which one did you own?
I owned all 3: red, yellow, and
the
blue.
first. What did you own first?
Red was my first.
I remember going to Walmart and getting a blue Game Boy Pocket and blue. So Pokemon Blue was my first. I have it somewhere.
Yep. I
Finally
got
ready for the workforce. 10 years old with 20 plus years of experience. It's so true.
Yep. He has enough experience for an entry level position.
Dear Lord.
But yeah, red, yellow, and blue were the original US releases. Red, green, and black were the original Japan releases.
Really?
Yep.
I hadn't even realized that.
All right.
Benjamin.
TY Inc. was responsible for these plush toys that took the world by storm and had collectors scrambling. Oh, I just realized how I fucked up.
Yep. you notice? Do you notice how I phrased one of the mini games tonight?
Yeah, just take it. Just I wasn't
I
even
mean,
drunk. I wasn't even
I
drunk
even-
when I picked this one.
I even mentioned it to you in my pre-read. Like I read this GIF
Yep.
back to you, and you were like, "Yep," and I was like, "Okay." Wait, we
Yep.
got Grammard. What did we get Grammard for? What did you spell wrong?
And I didn't. This is a Ryan question, and also, how did you not give me
What
a?
did Ryan spell
There's a
wrong?
free. Thank you.
Tammy. That's a free answer for Doug's GIF.
No. What's my
Right,
What's my
Doug
grandma?
gave this away, but what did we grammar, Katie Buck? Oh, you meant free. Okay, cool.
Oh,
I'll
alright.
fix it. I thought we had spelled something wrong. We usually do.
It's Beanie Babies. so-
It count. Yeah. Everybody knows it's Beanie Babies, Doug. Wait, what? Oh, Ben, been on the late train. Free has already been given, my friend. Yes, it was the GIF. I'm glad you explained it. Kenny already got it like 5 minutes ago, old man. All right, I need to reset grammar to 23. No, you're okay, Bubby. You know I'm just playing. Whack. We're supposed to have a duck counter tonight. That's 2. Someone keep track of the duck quacks. That's 2. Ryan said if we didn't have a duck quack counter, he would be angry. This virtual pet simulation game came in small egg-shaped electronic devices and allowed users to feed, play with, and clean up after their little friend. And no, they weren't ducks. Oh boy, I lost count already. I've already lost count of the ducks. If y'all can't hear it, the soundboard is a quack, and it's probably our favorite thing in the world. We're nerds.
Yeah.
It's a
All right.
free edit count. I'm trying. Look, dog. I'm trying to reset the counters over here. Okay. The correct answer here is the Tamagotchi. I got one of these at a Rose's by my parents' house, and I don't think it was a Tamagotchi. I think it was an off-brand.
I had a. They made a Digimon, like Digivice
Ooh,
Tamagotchi.
yeah.
That was essentially a pedometer. Because your Digimon would evolve at the more you walked. So essentially, you just
Yep.
sat there, just like shaking it. But
Shaking it.
But I
Yep.
had this second generation of them, and after like a certain point, you collected more eggs, and yeah, it was Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go existed. Because the more you walked, it was like, oh, you walked this many before you checked your pedometer. So now you get the mega version instead of the rookie version or whatever.
Yeah.
So, 6 teams of 2 children competed in a series of physical and intellectual events for the chance to snag lost treasures, all while avoiding adults in ridiculous costumes. Come to find out, the reason this show stopped was it was essentially psychological torture on children.
Wait, see. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I loved that show. All I wanted was to be on this show. So
No,
badly.
but I need to ask, which team? What color team?
I was always torn. You know, I am fond of the color, if no one knows this. I'm fond of the color white in video games. I used to make my me white, but white would have been the silver snakes. And I did not like snakes, so I always leaned blue barracudas.
Ah.
But I was trying to think of the other
Silver
options.
Snakes. So Silver Snakes were also the least winningest team, but Silver Snakes were still the best.
Nah, it's a snake, man. You know I can't be a snake. You know better than that. I hate red, so I couldn't have been the Jaguars. Yeah, it was blue barracudas. Sometimes I liked the purple parrots. That's because I like the parrot logo.
Yeah,
In fairness.
like filming took days, and they wouldn't. The kids were getting like hours of sleep, like 1 or 2 hours of sleep. They're essentially torturing them. So when you see them, like the reason you see, like you always thought like, oh, why can't they figure out the puzzle? Because it's 3 pieces, and they're like,
It's super
like,
easy. It's
see-
literally legs,
Right.
chest, head.
they've had 2 hours of sleep in 4 days, which is the reason they couldn't like do it. And the reason they were freaking out so much at the Temple Guardians was because, again, 2
Well,
hours
those are
of
horrifying
sleep.
grown man.
Right, like 2 hours of sleep, and a grown man is just jumping out at you, and they're like, oh my
And
god,
a loincloth.
and everyone's like, oh, I couldn't handle that so well. Like, all right, let's talk about how the CIA tortures people, and
It's called sleep deprivation.
yep.
That's
That's Legends of the
anyway,
Hidden
we've
Temple.
talked,
Anyway.
I was about to say we've talked about it enough. What was the name of the family butler in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air? I had it all like mapped out in my head. I knew that you needed 2 medallions to get rid of the temple guards. I knew that you could find one in the temple. So I always said what you would do is you win one medallion, you send your best runner in. Best runner goes in, searches for the other medallion while doing stuff. Their only job, find the second medallion. Once they find that second medallion, they start doing the tasks, and if they fail, then you have the spare. Then they can continue on still. Like you get those spare 2 lives,
Yeah.
and I had a
Would
map
you-
for Legends of the Hidden Temple, man.
Would you say that you soul link to them?
You soul link to your teammate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have no clue what we're talking about, and you most likely don't, there's a video game we streamed last night, and I think, unless I'm sadly mistaken, tonight after trivia, me and Doug will probably be streaming on my Twitch. Come over, Sarge6889, check it out, no big deal. And we will be playing Heroes of Hammerwatch. And when your teammate dies, you may res them. But when you res them, they soul link to you. And when they soul link to you, guess what that means? If they die, you die. If there was a counter last night for how many times I died because Doug died, it'd have been like 7. I died like twice.
You died once.
I digress.
I soul linked to you once. You never died. You never perma-died. I died. Like Brian and I perma-died all the time. But anyway,
It's so much better because when you die, the game's like, hey, your teammate killed you.
Oh, yeah.
Reason for
It's-
death
yeah.
is the teammate's name.
so like reason for death sometimes was like, oh, the spiky bug or the zombie
Poison.
or whatever, and then sometimes like your team name, and you're like, I'm sorry, what?
What is that now? I'm glad you have the power back, Scraps. The correct answer here is Joffrey. I almost said that Geoffrey, but it's Joffrey, I believe, because that's the butler. Yeah. I remember things.
We had this conversation last night. The reason, like, it bothers me so much how
You don't like Jeff from Achievement Hunter.
Jeff from Achievement Hunter.
His name should be Joff.
Joff. These wide leg jeans became a fashion staple for kids in the 90s.
I'll be honest, I feel like Ben should just get a free answer here. Too easy. It's BS. What we got? Ask my
Oh,
bows.
did you see your Steam today?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you very much. No, I got this notification today, and I saw 4 Steam gifts to you, and I called Kim and I said, Doug just bought me all the DLC to Hammerwatch, I think, because I knew there were 3.
I will say I played Witch Hunter today.
Yes.
Ranger's so much better. Like,
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
good. Interesting.
Witch Hunter does bursts of like 5, like 5 reload, 5 reload, 5, and they do the same damage that a Ranger does. So
That's dumb.
anyway,
What's it got?
that'd be Jinko jeans, which means judge none, choose one. And apparently, you weren't
It
cool
also
if you
means-
didn't have these jeans. I remember having these jeans in 7th grade, which was 2002, by the way, well after the Jinko jeans phase, and had rashes from like crotch to mid like calf because
Ooh, that's unpleasant.
they sucked so bad.
It also means go check our Discord that just got linked in Twitch, and you can see Ben, I do believe, in Jinko G. Do you want to read the scoreboard, or do you want to shoot for halftime?
Let's go with a. Here we go. In first place, Eat My Bunghole, man, 36.24. Second place, Talk to the Hand, because the bunghole ain't listening, 33.141. That's My Bunghole, don't wear it out. Ben, I always want to wear your bunghole out.
Oh,
33.054. Kaylin with 31.838. All that in a bag of bungholes, 21.774. Doug and Patty, 19.477. Scraps and T, 16.843. I'm new here, 15.731, and Ask My Balls was 7.041. All
There you
right,
go.
with that, let's jump into round number 3.
Round number 3 is pop culture. I mean, y'all know what pop culture is. I'm not. Anyway, what's the name of the show within a show conceived as a parody of PBS's This Old House that was hosted by Tim Taylor?
Wait, no, we're not done with the round.
What? Yeah,
we,
we are.
we didn't finish the
Yeah,
round.
we did.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
we did. That was question 14. Was the Jinko jeans?
What's 8 and 8?
I can't math. What do you want from me?
16.
We're still in pop culture.
we're still in pop culture.
Y'all know about math left me. Math left me completely.
I was like, I thought we were just doing pop culture. Why did fuck it. Whatever. Oh, that was
You know what? They got an early scoreboard show sitcom on Home Improvement. Everybody's got it right so far. And the correct answer. That's Tool Time. We watched this when I was a kid all the time. Loved Home Improvement.
Binford Tools.
I was curious why it wasn't a wager question. That's why I was like, why did he not?
Here is the wager question. Beavis and Butthead wore shirts with the names of 2 bands. Name one of them. Go.
Yeah. I was trying to look at something. That one's fine.
So there are 2 possible answers to this question. Beavis and Butthead wore rock and roll shirts. I don't know how to give. I'm gonna give you an extra point for that one.
Nice. I'm doing a little maintenance over here on something. Do on the spammy McSpam
That's
stream elements.
that's not a 9. The answers are AC/DC and Metallica. I gave an extra point for those of you who named both of them.
Nice. Figures we would have people that would know that.
All right.
Okay. I believe I've adjusted our stream elements to where we get slightly a few less spammy messages because you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Bonfire tools? Wilson. Oh, Wilson.
I corrected it. Don't worry.
Yep, it has. They've been fixed. They said you were wrong. They've been fixed. You got the points. Don't worry. We take a care, and you should have a bonus points. All right. So now that we finished the round, you're not getting a scoreboard again. It changed a little. It'll be fine because we're moving on from pop culture to we have the technology. A new feature came to portable CD players in the 90s. What was that feature? Ow. We try, you know. We can't all be Dougs out here, but we can strive to do it. Since sports is the 50-50 round, we'll go ahead and without the next bonus shirt question. As I said, our shirts are themed tonight. Doug has on his 1995 Powerline shirt. This is a NASCAR shirt from the 90s. They went to Daytona. What was it, Doug? On February the something?
28th.
No, that was Rockingham.
Oh,
February the 28th, they went to
14th.
Rockingham.
14th.
And the 14th, they went to Daytona. What year is this NASCAR shirt from? It was the Winston Cup in the 90s. So in Twitch, you'll get a bonus point. You can guess which year in the 90s this NASCAR shirt came from. It's
Also-
my dad's.
Also, another bonus point. That's with my spiky hair. When did Goku go Super Saiyan for the first time?
Kenny!
Damn!
Me and Doug had to guess. This
Yeah.
is the 1993 NASCAR shirt. My boy Mark Martin won 4 in a row that season, and Kenny gets bonus points. Kenny's bunghole team was all that bunghole, so all right. Easy peasy. Done and done.
Oh, so, with spiky hair, Goku, when was the first time he went Super Saiyan? What year? And Katie gets the Super Saiyan one.
All right, so
Damn!
hold on. We'll add that to the next one. This feature here was skip protection, and
Which-
Kate Bug will get her point on the next one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Him. Voice actor Elwood Edwards recorded a famous line that became synonymous with receiving email on a tape deck in his home. You'd know his voice if you had which internet service provider in the 1990s?
Jake and Elwood. Jake from State Farm. State Farm. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay Packers. Cheeseheads.
I'm gonna give an extra point.
There you go. Channel my inner. You've got mail. That's right.
It's weird that it marked her correct by giving her an extra point when everyone else has it correct, but she doesn't.
Yeah, I know, that's really funny.
But the answer is AOL. You've got mail.
America Online.
All right.
In 1990, NASA made great strides by launching the first telescope to orbit around Earth. What was the name of that telescope? I remember we didn't use AOL, and I can't remember why. I remember all my friends had it, or they used AOL to get on the internet, and we used something different. We used Netscape? I think we used Netscape. Seems right. We used whatever that would pick up in rural North Carolina, which wasn't a lot.
I think we used Netscape, but we had AOL. No. We had Netscape for a while, and I convinced my parents to get AOL because we could keep getting the free CDs. And they were like, "Oh, you can't stack those though. That's like a one and done." And I was like, "No, you can stack them." And we had so many because for my dad worked. I forget where my dad was working at the time, but he would get handfuls of stuff, and you could stack them. And so we had like 7 years of free AOL and it was like for 2 days. He was just in the office, just putting in codes. And he's like, "Well, we have free AOL internet for 7 years now," and we're like, "All right." And then
That's
like
amazing.
3 years later, DSL came out, and we're like, never mind.
The correct answer here was the Hubble telescope, and yeah, no, that makes sense. Free AOL, let's go.
First commercial mobile phone, the Motorola Dynatac, was discontinued in 1994. How long, on average, did it take to charge the phone?
Forgot how cool the Digimon walkable pets were.
I mean,
I was just looking at it. It looked like a brick wall.
See, now you've said that. I've got like $40 on Amazon. See.
Wait, what? Do they still make those? Can we get those?
I'm about to find out.
I thought that Tamagotchis were the greatest thing ever. Because you might have been a Gigapet. Mom Fafra might be right. I remember that mine had to go to the bathroom. That seems like a thing that not Tamagotchi would have done. I got 9 of 9 answers in though.
I can't find it. Whatever. Oh! Digimon Digivice,
Yes.
Tamagotchi, help buying options.
I definitely
Whoa! $979. No thanks. I should have saved mine. Anyway, the answer is 10 hours. You could get 10 hours of use, or 10 hours of charge gave you 30 minutes of use.
Speaking of mobile phones, the first SMS text message was sent in December of 1992. What did that message say? Also, Doug, I don't know where you were looking, but I found this. For $8.09.
I was looking at the old ones, like the original. I should have saved mine. Damn it.
This says original Digimon.
It is. I can get balls. I feel like 40. Ali's parents sent me $100 in Amazon, and like I got shoes because
Nice.
I've had the same set of shoes for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
They're worn to hell, so I was like, I need a second pair of shoes. and threw out the first. So I need to find out.
Mama Fafro caught the grammar. It was send, not sent. I just corrected it to try to help out.
Hey,
I'm sitting on 8 to 9 answers though. Who are we missing? Caitlin. Katybug's not in. New York Times. I'm kind of hungry. It should be sent. That's why I read it that way. What's that? Wait, why did it only capitalize the second thing in the answers? Do you see that?
yeah, I don't.
That's an odd one. All right, well, the Times, they call to move on. Sorry, Caitlin. I'll make it up to you on the next question. The text that was sent was Merry Christmas. Engineer Neil Papworth sent the message to his director, Richard Jarvis, from a computer via the Vodafone network. Jarvis, however, was unable to reply because the phones could only receive SMS messages, not send them. So he sent it from a computer to the phone. The phone couldn't respond. That's crazy.
Google officially launched in 1998, but what was the search engine originally called?
I was really positive that that GIF before was Nathan Lane, and I finally looked closely at it and realized it wasn't Nathan Lane.
How would you do
Thought it looked like his little glasses outfit he wears when he's being a smart man. Google has a lot of information. Let's see here. It blows my mind that Google didn't officially launch until 98. Because I was looking at a NASCAR video about, so the last race in North Wilkesboro before this year was in 1996, I believe. And they were going through with the current NASCAR drivers of how old they were in 96 and what they could remember from the 90s. And one of them was the Ash Jeeves guy. It was just a picture of Ash Jeeves, and only like 2 of them knew what it was. And I remember in elementary school learning about search engines and then falling in love with Ash Jeeves. And I remember not liking anything else. And I remember Google, but I thought it came out earlier because this would have been later in my life. And I remember not liking Google because I wanted Ash Jeeves to like make it. But anyway. What they originally called Google.
Back itch. Oh, we're missing Caitlin still, but
Yep. Time's been out for a little bit.
this is you.
I wonder why they called it back itch. Protease inhibitors were proven to lower what?
Protease.
Yeah, what he said. Were proven to lower the viral load of what disease by interfering with the enzyme that allowed it to replicate. Yeah, I know, right? Blows my mind. But yeah, the guy that I pulled for was like 4 in 96, and he was a big fan of he was a big fan apparently of Ash Jeeves. It made me happy. Kevin Harvick was 20 years old and is still currently racing in NASCAR. So like he couldn't even, he kind of knew what some of the stuff was, but it was like he was actually too old to know the younger things, which was also really funny. Also, I can't hear you.
What?
Oh, no, I can hear you. You're good.
Okay.
Yes, this. You do that, and I'll do this. Hello. The correct answer here was HIV or AIDS. Doug. Doug.
Yeah, on.
Oh, wow, I can really hear you now. No wonder they think I'm so loud all the time.
What was the name of the sheep that effectively cloned for the first time in 1996?
Doug, I'd rather not hear you than not see your face. It's very... Now you're Wilson. Heidi ho, neighbor. Hold on, I have something for this. According to our research, it was back itch, but I'll go check it for you. The internet disputes. Who wrote this round?
Ryan.
Do what?
Ryan wrote it.
I thought so. According to the internet, Backrobe was the original name. The name was a play on the mathematical expression for the number 1 followed by zeros, and aptly reflected their mission to organize the world's information. Backrobe. So we're gonna go back and give people points who put in Backrobe. I accept the appeal.
What? What? What?
I'm the machine!
And now that we've played with the soundboard thoroughly for a few minutes, what you got?
The answer is Dolly.
Backrobe, correct. Backrobe, correct.
Lucas,
Backrobe, correct.
can you tell me why I put the Hokey Bird as the GIF?
I could, Doug, but where would the fun be in that? Also, we just got Grammar for that day.
That
That
was.
they- That
Can I,
they
can I
effectively
can I Grandma Mama Fafro for the first one?
I mean, you could.
I mean that they effectively cloned or that was, but yes,
That they effectively cloned. But
yeah,
anyway,
both of them are right. Go for it. Why is the Hokey Bird there?
so the Hokey Bird is there because the lab in Scotland, right? Wasn't that where Dolly was cloned? In Scotland, was primarily funded by the one, the only Virginia Tech, and therefore the Hokies are associated with the cloning of Dolly.
A lot of the first cloned animals were actually done on Virginia Tech's campus. First cloned pig, first cloned monkey, first cloned some others were all done on Virginia Tech's campus. Well, they were done in the Corbett Research Center, which is technically part of Virginia Tech's campus, but blah, blah, blah.
You notice how I don't have any tech stuff on tonight? It's because in the 90s I would have been rooting for the Tar Heels.
Boo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you explain how the next part works while I bring up the timer?
As always, ladies and gentlemen, this is the world famous 50-50 round. You thought you could escape it. You thought you could get away, but you can't. For anyone who is new here, which I don't think there is, but the 50-50 round is a speed round. You want to answer these questions as quickly as possible. Yes, you do want points, but more, you want Doug Rye to do something punishing. He has a Mike's Hard Lemonade. I have, oh, I'm sorry. He has a shot of red, white, and berry. I have rum. So those are on the table for what's going on.
So this is a prescription shot. The prescription is very shit faced. Take
Oh, boy.
one by mouth. Repeat until intoxicated. Quantity as many as you like. Refills absolutely. Expires next morning. Dr. Alcoholic.
So after we got to hear that wonderful description of Doug's shot, reminder that the 50-50 round is about speed. As I said earlier, the 50-50 round is on sports. How it will be different this time. I will read the question twice, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the premise. I'm going to give you 2 teams, and I want you to tell me which one was the champion in their respective years. So the Super Bowl winner, the national champion, the team that hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup. Basically, I'm going to say what they played in, what year it was. You give me, of the 2 teams, who was the winner. Plain, simple, easy. Doug is going to give you a small extra bit of time because this is a slightly harder 50-50 round because it's not the normal choose one or the other.
Yep, we have been up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds so far. We are going to give you 3 minutes on this one because it is a little bit harder.
So you got 3 minutes, 50-50 round. Pick one, pick the other. I mean, if you want to speed right through it, then we go straight on to prescription shots. But other than that, let's have a good time. You ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. 50-50 round, short and simple. Given a year and 2 teams, can you pick which one was the champion? First one is 1994, the NBA champion. I repeat, the first one. Lamb chop. So we're going to let the timer roll. I guess on Caitlin for the first round. And 90, which you may have shown back up. You never know. Could be just spending that time to go do something real quick. was actually pretty sleazy with these questions. I'm not gonna lie.
8 of 9. We're missing Caitlin. Do
Caitlin.
you wanna
I'm gonna give her 15 more seconds
tell me
because
when?
it is a penalty, but not an ending penalty. Oh boy. All right. Sufficient
right.
time has been allowed. Caitlin's out for the round.
Houston Rockets MLB Fall Classic in 1997.
Oh, look at that beautiful Bugs Bunny. I got 5 and 9. I got 6 and 9. I got 7 and 9. I got 8 of 9. It's Caitlin. We're done. That was the Florida Marlins. On to the NHL hoisted the cup in 1996. Fan service. Wait, it wasn't really fan service. It was probably more host service. I got 8 of 9.
Go for it. At the Colorado Avalanche. The NFL, the Lombardi Trophy, 1990. We got a minute and 45 left.
It said host service. That was Doug's team.
We've only won 3 cups ever. I don't think. I think it's more than that, but
We've only won 1 cup. I don't want to hear it. I got 8 of 9. That was the San Francisco 49ers. What about the NCAA basketball champs in 1992? Our subliminal hints almost worked. 8 of 9, baby. Go for it.
all right. The Duke Blue Devils. A
Boys.
minute left. NCAA football BCS champs in 1999. Seminoles or Crimson Tide?
So, if you couldn't tell by the emotion on Doug and I's face during this was the Florida Seminoles. They defeated the Hokies. Soccer or football, the Premier League champs in 1994. I'm not super on speed because I think they're going to make this pretty easy.
Oh, we're at 36 seconds, so
They're
yeah.
going to make it. It's going to be fine. I got 8 of 9. Send it.
That'd be Manchester U.
Yep.
Curveball. Which team won the most championships in the 90s? The Bulls or the Yankees?
See, there was a curveball question. I didn't allow y'all to bet, but there was a curveball. 8 of 9. They're done.
Yep. With 12 seconds left.
Easy peasy answer was
The Chicago Bulls. They won 2 three-peats, 6 titles, which
mind-boggling.
and they had 7 championships total. But
So they won 91, 92, 93. The Houston Rockets won it 94, 95. Then they went 97, 98, 99. I think.
and they
Or
won,
it was 90, 91, 92, and then
one more. There was one more in there because he had 7. I
he
think
won
it's-
one in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 89 or 88 or 89.
91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98. And they won one in 6. That's all the Bulls have ever won.
Only got 6.
Did Jordan have? No, that must have been 6.
Oh, all right.
I thought they had one in the 80s too, but I think you're right. All right, we don't have to go back and review them. Was there anything to review? The Hokies lost to the Seminoles. That was heartbreaking. Doug's Colorado Avalanche won. I threw in the Cowboys because they were one of the biggest teams in the 90s. Why is Ben in chat? Ben, hello.
Hey Ben.
Oh. And so the characters Seminoles, that was heartbreaking. Doug's Colorado Avalanche won. I think the Cowboys.
Let's go.
Because they were.
What's up? Oh, I know why Ben's here.
Why can't they see you?
Why is the video not on Benjamin?
I don't know. Is there no video?
Well, hell, I got-
Don't quit being distracted. This is the greatest day ever. The Queen has graced us with her presence. Someone cue up the national music.
Shit, what am I doing now?
Stand up.
Doug, the Queen is here. All right.
Let's go.
Ben is here. Ben is here because it's theme night. Unmute yourself.
You ready?
Wait, hold for it. I'm waiting on Dipstick.
All
All
right,
Doug.
so I'm going to chase.
Oh, you're gonna
that.
chase?
I'm
I
doing.
can't.
I'm doing this to
I cannot.
chase. All right,
All right.
cheers. 1
Cheers. Ben to you. And down.
and go.
Get it, boys. Cheers.
I'm doing this to Chase. Okay.
Ah, I hate it. I hate.
Thanks, boys.
To you, Ben. He's so good at things. Oh God, why do I do the things I do? Ah. Whew. The Queen was here, and I couldn't come up with the Queen music in my head. All I could think
can't-
of was like the Imperial March. No, that's the Bridal March, isn't it?
No, that's pomp and
That
circumstance.
was Afro. Thank you. That was pumping. You're right. Oh my goodness. Do I have anything that's close to the Queen in the soundboard? I wish. We need
No.
to figure that out.
All right.
Okay. Punishment's done. Ben came in to hang out. Allie came in for a visit. Let's move on to the next round.
Here are your scores thus far. Eat my bunghole, 88.909. That's my bunghole. Don't wear it out. 80.704. Truck to the hand because the bunghole ain't listening. 70.322. Doug and Patty, 64.455. Ask My Balls, 61.966. Scraps and T. Yorkies, 56.959. All that in a bag of bungholes, 52.189. Caitlin, 45.654. I'm new here, 41.77799.
Every time. Patty.
All right,
That's all I got.
let's do it. You up next?
I do. The next round is the 90s poorly explained movies. We've done this one before. Plot explained poorly. You tell us the movie. 90s style, of course. These were all top of the box office at some point during the 90s. Starting with capitalism threatens to destroy a planet. Good guy gambles to get a slave. And young love is super kind of creepy. These are all facts.
I have not said an untrue thing in that.
No, sir. No, sir, you have not.
So what movie that released in the 90s that was the top at some point?
Good guy gambles to get slave
Okay.
boy.
That's my bunghole. No, I'm just all right. Fuck it.
Ask
I'm
for
gonna give it-
clarification.
I'm gonna
Oh,
give
yeah,
it.
No, you're right.
Nah,
No,
yeah.
I agree. No, that's correct. I mean, it's not
that's-
super correct, but it's correct.
That's correct. That's
Oh
I'm-
God. Oh God.
it does not feel good.
Burping. The burps. Ugh. Hope Mama Fafro didn't miss her favorite thing, which is the faces I make. Ugh. Whew.
My next haircut is 100% gonna be get
We gotta
frosted
do it.
tips.
I'm sorry for everyone. Patty and Doug. That's all we're waiting on now because Katie Buck has abandoned us. I think the defeat or something real happened. You never know. Yeah, see, Mama Fafro got it. Well, has time
Yeah,
run out?
I guess so. That's the Phantom Star Wars, the Phantom Menace.
Episode 1.
We gave you any Star Wars, so.
Yeah, we did because we're feeling friendly tonight.
So Doug never really watched this movie. Watched this movies? Watched this
Oh,
movie.
did you?
But it has something to do with pottery and trying to get a bad guy to go to hell. I guess. I really have not watched this movie.
I really did not think that this was a 90s movie. Ah, that's why. It was released in 1990. It really feels like an 80s movie to me, for sure.
But it hit top of the charts in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, it meets the criteria. I'm just me brain. Nobody move. I'll drop me brain. Rum's good.
Rum's good. We're missing Kaylin, and
Oh.
I'm new here.
I'm new here. Oh, I'm sorry, Patty and Doug. I didn't mean to kick you out of a point last time, but the timer she had ran out. We also watched the that the third Pirates movie? I think it is. No, we left a pirate themed marathon on for Taz while we went out. When we came back, the third one was on, and they just got to the
Stranger
part.
Tides.
No. Sorry, not the. Is the third one on Stranger Tides?
No,
On Stranger
it's
Tides is four.
no, it's
Edge of the world, end of the world.
no,
At World's End.
At World's End.
And it just got to the part where where the Jack Sparrow in the brig of the thing goes, nobody move. Drop me
Jump me
brain.
brain.
All right, what's the movie?
That'd be Ghost.
That would be Ghost.
I have not seen Ghost. My only reference to Ghost that I know is from Community, where there is an episode where they talk about there's a Pottery 101 class, and there's a big ass sign that says no ghosting, where apparently it's a dude wrapping around another dude and or something. Where pottery is made with two people. I don't know. Fuck that. Anyway, moving
Basically,
on.
the scene that everyone knows in Ghost is the ghost helping her. It's a very sexual scene where he helps her to form pottery at a clay wheel while he's a ghost. Anyway,
I
a
don't
drag
fucking
queen
know.
attempts to take his kids, but has to fight James Bond along the way. Is James Bond Pierce Brosnan in this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just curious. I don't think I'm giving too much away with that. It would have been the drag queen. I think would be the dead giveaway. I knew it was Swayze.
I knew.
didn't
Yeah,
know it was Demi Moore.
I knew it was Swayze. I didn't know it was
Actually-
Demi Moore. I
Ah,
know
makes
I know Whoopi Goldberg's in it because that was like height Whoopi Goldberg at that point.
I've actually never seen this whole movie. I've seen parts of it. I feel like I've seen parts of every one of this actor's movies. I've seen some of them.
I'm gonna
all the
ask for
way,
a
but-
clarification. For that's my bunghole. Don't wear it out.
I'm disappointed. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's definitely a grammar. The more sad. Oh god, the burp. Oh, it's the rum burps. I'm more disappointed. Dear God. That you didn't use a different one of this actor's movies that was in the 90s.
I was really thinking it, but I couldn't think how to poorly describe it without giving it away.
Mad scientist concocts magical thing that can do all the stuffs in the world amazingly and loses his job.
Ah.
If anyone's curious, I'm talking about what did I read this one, didn't I?
Yep.
I'm talking about Robin Williams and Flubber because Flubber is definitely my Robin Williams movie from the 90s, but Doug is correct. It's very hard to describe without giving away. This was Mrs. Doubtfire, which I know I can picture what he dressed up like. Like I've seen it enough to know what he looked like in the movie. But I feel like Mrs. Doubtfire, what's the one where he's the doctor? Like he has the clown nose and everything. He's not actually a doctor, but he's
Patch Adams.
Patch Adams. Because I had Patch stuck in my head. I've watched part of that. I've watched part of Mrs. Doubtfire. There are a lot of Robin Williams movies. No, Hook is a banger. Hook is a baller
Hook
movie, and
is
people
the-
underappreciate it.
Bangarang. As the
Now,
Hook is the best Robin Williams movie. Period. Fight me.
Aladdin.
No. Again. Fight me.
Have you met the genie?
No. Have you
have
met?
never had
Have
a
you
friend
met?
like me.
Have you met Robin
You've
Williams?
never had a friend like
Have you
me.
met Robin Williams as a Peter Pan who doesn't know he's Peter Pan, who has to talk to the voice of Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender and convince him that he is Peter Pan? Cause bangarang.
Let me hit you though with the best
I
best
rarely
food.
said with Doug.
as a kid. The best food as a kid, period, is the food that they have in Neverland.
Oh, that imaginary.
clay looking
So
imaginary.
so
food,
there was two times
that made me
times
want to eat
ever
Play-Doh as a 10-year-old.
there are two times I've ever seen a movie and been like, I that is the only thing I ever want to eat ever. One of them is that scene from Hook. The other one
Yes,
is the
food,
fucking pizza from Goofy Movie. When he like picks it up and
It's a
just
stringy pizza.
yeah, oh my god.
Yes, it look.
Those
I
are
don't know. I'm pretty sure a Goofy Movie got me into spray cheese. Look, man,
it's
the
the
little
tower
of Jesus.
And just
Somebody clip that, dear God. All right,
no,
I'm going through
I am
every
telling
Robin
you,
Williams movie ever because I agree with you all, but I want to play devil's advocate here. My man
No,
was in a lot of
Hook-
movies.
Hook beats out no, so
So give me a minute.
Robin Williams as Peter Pan in Hook beats out Robin Williams as Genie in Aladdin. Fight me.
Yeah, no, I can't argue that. I can't argue that. I love him as Genie. It's amazing, but Hook is a better movie.
Also,
Hook is
the
Robin Williams is better and
the
Hook.
best cameo is in that movie too.
No. Nope.
What's her name? It's
I'm sorry, I may be going with the most infamous cameo, but anyway, which is also a 90s thing. We're on topic, amazingly. What do you got?
No, hold on. The cameo in Hook is wait, 1 second.
I agree, Kenny. Hook's amazing. All right, while Doug ponders this over to Holler Alley, to the crowd, what is the most popular cameo in a movie that you can think of? Because in my mind, it's a 90s movie. The most popular cameo that I know of, in my opinion, is in a 90s movie. What is it?
It's Glenn Close. When Hook is walking through the crowd and said, "Who doubted me?" and he walks through the crowd and he's pointing around, and he comes between it's Glenn Close and Robin Williams.
I forgot she was Cruella de Vil, dear Lord.
And he points to Robin Williams and then Glenn Close and then like points between the two and they're like, "Oh." And then Glenn Close gets put into a treasure chest filled with scorpions. Like that is an amazing, like they killed off Glenn Close for no reason whatsoever other than fuck you, you're Glenn Close.
In my opinion, the greatest cameo of all time, the most memorable to me, is Home Alone.
Which one? Or no,
Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump and Home Alone 2. Because you're literally just like Kevin McAllister walking into this hotel and freaking Donald Trump comes through and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's the desk." I don't know why, but when I think of cameo, I think of Donald Trump in Home Alone 2. That's where my brain goes.
No, that's a BS cameo.
It's not a good cameo. I'm not saying it's a good cameo.
No,
it's
I'm saying
so memorable.
No, memorable, yes. In hindsight,
It's like, to me,
no,
it is
in
like,
hindsight,
I
though.
went there.
So no, like my argument is
Around the hall to the left. Kenny even knows the phrase "around the hall to the left." You know why? Because it sticks in your freaking brain.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not a memorable cameo. Because that phrase, she said that, I was like, yeah, oh no, I 100% know what you're talking about. But as far as like cameos that were memorable,
That were actually good.
No, in the moment, because like that Trump cameo was not a
Aged
good
well.
was not a good cameo in the moment. Like people
Yeah, I
like
feel.
I don't know, 25% of people knew who Trump was at that time. The Hook cameo was like, hey,
That's
that
really
looks
funny.
that looks like Glenn Close. Why is Glenn Close getting put into a treasure chest? Why are they dropping scorpions into a treasure chest with Glenn Close? And then the boo box
All right,
happened.
so the 50th best cameos of all time, I will say Keith Richards in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Good.
Oh,
Obviously, Stan Lee is the best cameo.
Specifically, Keith Richards when his guitar string breaks.
String breaks.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is the
Are
best
you,
moment.
Are you all saying that you won't be keeping to the code? Tink!
Yeah. Oh no, that is the best moment ever of a Keith Richards cameo ever.
Wait. He cameoed Encino Man in Son-in-Law? I'm tracking that right. I'm reading that right.
Yeah.
right?
No.
I'm not-
Yeah. No. I don't.
Um,
In Cinnamon. In Son. I.
Glenn Close and Hook is number 4 on this list. They have Stan Lee in all the Marvels, and it's hard to beat Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Keith Richards in Pirates, Bill Murray in Zombieland.
Yeah,
As Bill
that's
Murray.
yes. Yeah. That's fair.
Pretty good. And then Glenn Close. I will say that the reason I appreciate the Bill Murray and the Trump one is they're themselves. Like they're playing themselves, whereas Glenn Close and Keith Richards are playing a
But-
character as a cameo in the movie, which
But
makes it better.
At the
as, like,
time
what they're
though.
doing.
So at the time for Trump's cameo though was playing on his popularity at the time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Those other ones were also playing on their popularity at the time, which were
Way higher.
like
higher.
immensely, yeah.
I agree. Also, I forgot
Because
that
like Trump hadn't even done Apprentice yet, so
we should
he-
ask we should ask a question.
Yeah. Anyway, Yeah, a secret agent sucks at being emotionally available for his family, but they all end up happily ever after when they get to blow the shit up in Harriers.
I forgot that that Robin Williams was Teddy Roosevelt. Night in the Museum.
Oh yeah, which is also his last line ever said in a movie before he died, which
Night in the
was
Museum 2?
what yes, Night Museum 3, Smile Boy, or Smile Man, Tomorrow's Coming, or something like that.
And now I want to cry. Thank you.
Yeah, no, 100%. No,
Robin
Robin
Williams-
Williams shaped my
Dude.
childhood.
Love that man.
I am. He
I didn't realize
named
Patch
he
Adams
named
was
his
98.
he named his first child after Legend of Zelda. His first
course he
kid
did.
is Zelda. Her name is Zelda.
Oh,
after-
dog. I just found it. I'll beat Hook. I'll beat Hook.
Oh, go
The
for it.
greatest Robin Williams movie of all time is Jumanji.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I love Hook, but Jumanji to me, I have a Jumanji board game in my house because of how much I love Jumanji. That's just me.
I
That's
have
just me.
a fear.
I love
okay,
Hook.
okay. So you know the plants we fight in Here's a Hammerwatch.
Yes.
I immediately think the plants in Jumanji.
Yes.
Like,
See?
yeah.
Hook
Okay,
is
I will give
amazing.
that.
Hook is
Hook-
one of my favorite movies of all time, but
No,
I think
but-
Jumanji might rank higher personally.
Oh
for
no,
me.
no. As far as Robin Williams movies goes, Jumanji is higher. Cameo wise, Hook wins.
As the better cameo. I agree. I agree
Yes.
completely.
Because
Jumanji's
there's a
scary.
bunch of them.
I believe it.
Jumanji is
was
scary as hell.
It's a scary ass movie, dude. Like it's really scary.
All
Oh,
that in a
boy.
bag of
Doug froze.
bugholes.
Oh no. Oh, you're back. Okay, thank God.
All that in
No,
bug
you're still froze, but I can hear you.
Yeah, all that in a bag of bungholes. We're missing them.
Okay. We ran off teams with our rambling.
Yep.
I don't know movies. I'm sorry I don't know here. I apologize. This happens to be the movie round.
Well, the answer is True Lies. It is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
It's a Schwarzenegger movie.
He what's her name in he's
Hold
married.
on, I got you.
Hold on. He's married
I
to
got you. Never mind, it didn't pull up the cast. Jamie Lee Curtis.
He's married to Jamie Lee Curtis. But he has to like play
They're both
the
spies, but they don't know that they're
no,
both spies.
no, no, no,
right?
no, no. He's a spy. She thinks he's cheating the whole time.
That's it. That's it.
And then someone who plays a spy seduces her. And
Oh
then
my God.
and then he shows up like it literally like takes a Chinook. He like this guy lives in a trailer, rips the top off of his trailer with a Chinook because he's a secret agent or whatever. Admits all this. And then his daughter and Jamie Lee Curtis pilot Harriers to blow up the bad guy in the end because they're
That's
on
right.
they're on some like stretch of I think it's either in Alabama or Florida, but it's like this stretch of highway that goes over a swamp. That's like and like you have to blow up the bridge to make sure they don't get to the whatever, and they're people who have never who have never had experience piloting Harriers. For those of you who don't know, Harriers are called VTOLs, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. So essentially, these jets can go up and down like helicopters with their jets, and these very specialized jets that you have to have years and years of training. The Jamie Lee Curtis and the daughter of fucking whatever the fuck his character's name is can pilot them just by jumping in the seat and then blow up fucking highways with them for some reason.
All I'd like to say in argument to your logic is that if you haven't, go to Netflix and type in Pepsi wanted to give away a Harrier jet and watch the documentary of where Pepsi
Yeah, they
was
couldn't
advertising a
'cause-
Harrier jet
oh, and they got sued
as a prize.
and
no,
they
no,
got
no.
sued for
A kid
shit
sent
ton.
in the points A kid sent in the points. The whole Netflix is about this kid that sent in the points to get it, and Pepsi was like, "Dude, we're not giving you a Harrier jet." Yeah, the doc is amazing. Me and Kim watched it the other day, and Pepsi's like, "We're not giving you a Harrier jet," and he's like, "Oh, you are." They offered him like $2 million or $1 million to walk away in the 90s, and this kid was like 20 with a friend who had money,
Yeah.
like a 40-year-old friend who had money, and he ends up going to court against Pepsi and losing. I think. Not to ruin the documentary, you should still watch it.
It
It's
was
an
something
amazing
like
experience, but
implied.
it's mind blowing. So
Implied
he
winnings or
called
something
the
like that.
DOD. No, not the DOD. He called a member of Congress who was either on Clinton's board or presidential board, and they said, yeah, or the head of the Pentagon. Yeah, a civilian could own a Harrier jet, but it can't have the weapons on it. That same person came out after Pepsi lobbied Congress and said, "Oh no, you can't own a Harrier jet; it's a piece of military equipment." And he was like, "You literally, I have documentation that you said I could, as long as it hasn't got missiles on it." I'm telling you, it's a good documentary. You should go watch it. It's really, really cool. But if we intend to finish trivia tonight, Doug and us have to quit our drunk ramblings. Probably not take another shot because that's a terrible idea, but it's not a terrible idea, but it's a terrible idea. And we move on to, and I'm giving an extra hint here because I'm having a good time, the land of Pixar. A worker challenges the status quo and inevitably causes a socialist revolution against their capitalist overlords, eating the rich or something. I don't know. Am I right about that? Am I right about my hint?
Yeah, you're
I thought I was.
straight on.
Which,
I mean, let's be real. Everyone's like eat the rich, which you already saw. What you know where I'm going with this. Eat the rich.
Yeah, I am.
You had 5 guys who were super rich who went overseas and got crushed and liquefied. And honestly, it should be drink the rich.
Oh God. And we just got demonetized for some reason.
We've been demonetized since day one. Let's be fucking real.
So I'm going all in on Hintsville on these because people are struggling with movies. My favorite quote from this movie, Doug. What is my favorite quote from this movie?
Give me the setup.
Not a main character. There's no main character involved in my favorite quote in the movie.
No, give me the setting. Where are they?
I think this is just after they got kicked out because I'm pretty sure this is like the redneck area or the backwoods area. I haven't watched the movie in 100 years, but I can quote this scene to you all day long.
Oh,
and it's not only because yes.
Oh no, it's the
yes.
Oh, it's so pretty. Stay away from the light.
No, Harry, don't look into the light. I can't help it. It's so beautiful. We had a bug zapper on my porch as a kid. I remember sitting out there and just listening to bugs mash off of that thing all day long. And when this Pixar movie came out, that quote has stuck with me my whole life. And I quote it regularly. Like I'll quote it and nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Well, the answer is
the answer is A Bug's Life. And the scene I'm referencing is obviously a bug just flying into a bug zapper, but they have that quote in there. And
that's
I
a
love
transition scene too.
It is.
Like
It's
that.
not
That's
important. Like that's what I meant. Like you're like, give me context. And I'm like, it's not an important scene. It's just what I remember.
Yeah. So man has severe dissociative identity disorder. For those of you who don't know what dissociative identity disorder is, it's multiple personalities. And causes severe property damage along with killing some people. He says it's magic. I say he's off his meds.
I'm grammaring you for the words you just mumbled over. Cheers. I would say that this is the most popular comedian actor of the 90s.
Yeah.
Easily.
I would give.
He had the most hit comedic movies.
I will say this.
That.
He played the villain in a previous question.
He did play the villain in a previous question. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in a previous question in a previous question, he was the bad guy with
Also,
another
the majority of his famous movies are 90s movies. Absolutely. I just
Yeah.
checked it out. I forgot how many popular movies that this person came out with. And I'm new here. That's a great guess. You're on. I love that we gave that hint
Yeah,
and
that's
everybody keyed in
ooh,
on Jim Carrey.
ooh,
Good job, guys.
I'm
Good
gonna
job.
ask for a clarification. You're on the
On
right
which one?
track, new here. I need
Okay. Yeah.
another
Another
crazy
option.
crazy bit where his other part is crazy.
They were close. They were so
Yeah,
close.
oh, they're
'Cause that one's
right
actually
there.
a really good answer. But all right, hold on. We're gonna once we get this answer in, we're gonna go through this because I had totally slept on this. Because I know what I was thinking when I thought this. To the majority of people who answer me, myself, and Irene, that came out in 2000.
Yep.
Just
I
barely snuck over.
specifically like when I said that part of, I was like, no, I know there was another movie where he is part of that. And I looked it up. It was 2000, so that's why I kept that
Right
discrepancy.
on the lip.
Yep.
All right, we got no clarification. You ready to rock and roll?
Yep. That's The Mask.
That is The Mask. Jim Carrey in the 1990s. Dumb and Dumber. Ace Ventura. The Truman Show. Liar Liar, which is what I always think of him in. Liar Liar was just that movie. The Cable Guy. Sequels to Ace Ventura. But Doug's reference, he's in Batman Forever. He plays the Riddler.
Across from who? Who's the
Is he
villain?
across from,
Who's the
he's
other
across
villain?
from Iceman, right?
No,
He's
no,
across
no.
from Schwarzenegger.
Two-Face.
Two-Face is played by Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Which blew my mind because I saw that the other day.
Yeah.
And I had like disassociated from that and remembered it. Because Tommy Lee Jones for me is like man of the house Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
And I remembered he played Two-Face.
Tommy Lee Jones next to the Riddler
Jim
is
Carrey.
bonkers to me.
It's nuts.
Like, and he plays it so well, where he plays the straight man to Jim Carrey's Riddler, who, like, let's be real, I would kill for a Jim Carrey Riddler now. I want a Christian Bale Batman against a Jim Carrey Joker.
I've never seen the number 23, Megan. And it's a thriller with Jim Carrey in it.
Yeah, it's
He
it messes
reads
with you.
about it in a strange book, which mirrors his own life. Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check this out.
It's kind of like the Truman
Oh,
Show.
it's the same guy that it was the same producer or director that did same director that did Batman Forever. And so that's his first pairing with him since Batman Forever. I gotta check that out. For sure.
Yeah.
Penultimate question of the round. We got there eventually. Honestly, this is just a play off the trope of rich man falls for poor woman under the guise of business. And it all ends happily ever after, or whatever. This is the oldest profession, ladies and gentlemen. I will give you that hint. I have watched this movie at least 100 times. Kim adores this movie. And I'll be honest, I almost said the main actor's name, which may have made it way too easy. I thoroughly enjoy this movie. I'm not going to lie. The guy who's the lead actor in this is by far one of my favorite male actors in the 90s as far as a love interest. We have one to go. We await. I'm new here. I'm sorry, I'm new here. I'm doing my best. The bungholes caught on to my hints or just knew this for some reason. There we go. Let's go. Everybody locked it in except Scraps and T. I apologize, Scraps and T. This is Pretty Woman. Richard, I never say his last name correct. I'm just going to say Gere, but I sometimes stumble over it and go Greer for some reason. Anyway, Richard Gere. Yep, see, there it is. Richard Gere and, I almost did it. Not Sandra Bullock. It's the other one.
Andrews?
Yeah. So there's a popular meme where Sandra Bullock, Julie Andrews, and like they're like three actresses that people think look alike, and it's stuck in my head now all the time. I can't get out of there. But anyway, good movie. It's entertaining. My favorite scene is when she goes into the store to buy clothes, and they kick her out. Then he brings her back, and they buy like half of the store because they kick her out because she obviously doesn't have money. She's a prostitute. That's why I said the thing with the hints.
I will say, if you watch Yellowstone, they do
Huge mistake. Facts.
they do that scene essentially where
Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts. Good
Julia
lord.
Roberts, they do that scene essentially where crap, I can't remember his name, but the guy who leads the Yellowstone ranch, huge actor.
Yellowstone is hold on, stop. I see him. I was talking about someone with Yellowstone today. Oh my god.
But so one of his sons, his wife is a Native American who goes into a store, and the store owner is a bigoted piece of shit,
Gotcha.
and calls the police to essentially strip search her.
Yeah.
And she calls up her sister-in-law, who's one of the children of, again, I can't remember his name because
It's Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. One of Kevin Costner's children, and she's like, yeah, this is fucked up. And she does the Pretty Woman thing, except more violent. Where like the wife, the Native American wife, walks in and she's like, oh yeah, I want this dress and whatever, and then she's like, no, it's not really my thing, and she's like just having a regular shopping experience, and the owner is like, no, go fuck yourself, like we're gonna search you because minorities and all that bullshit. So instead of hiring someone else, this one comes down and dismisses the cops because in Yellowstone, the owners of the Yellowstone Ranch are, or I forget what the ranch is called, but they're like the essentially owners of Wyoming or Wisconsin or wherever the fuck they're from.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And she comes in with a crowbar and just starts breaking everything, and she's like, and you're gonna do what I say. And it's what I wish Pretty Woman had been like in that scene of like Richard Gere coming in just like with a shotgun, just like, what do you want? Boom! Like,
Yeah,
no,
that was definitely not Richard Gere's character in that.
I wish it had been, but
that would have been funny. All right, bring it home. Let's get to my final
last
round.
but certainly not least, people are trying to actually do shit to understand global warming and cows.
They're also trying to get data. They're trying to collect data by putting stuff into some very interesting storms. If you'll go to Discord, I have linked why I have the problem with Julia Roberts. I don't really have a problem with Anne Hathaway and Sandra Bullock. If any of you have ever watched Jenna Marbles before, Kim, huge obsession with Jenna Marbles.
Love Jenna Marbles.
If you love Jenna Marbles, you love Julian, her husband, boyfriend, life partner. I think they're married now because she stopped doing YouTube.
Oh, can we
But,
talk? Can we talk about the interaction we had yesterday about one of the questions later? Oh, no, when we get to that question,
Yes.
we after that.
Yes, absolutely. Julian is incapable of telling the difference between Julia Roberts, Anne Hathaway, and Sandra Bullock. I have linked a video in Discord, which is a highlight compilation of every time that he confuses the three of them, and he can't. He can't tell them apart. I know Sandra Bullock is The Blind Side. I know Julia Roberts is Runaway Bride, and I know I actually don't know Anne Hathaway's movies, but I know who Anne Hathaway is.
You've seen her movies.
Is Anne Hathaway
I can guarantee you've
Marvel?
seen her movies.
Is she a Marvel character? No. What do I? Devil Wears Prada. That would have definitely, or The Princess Diaries. That would have been the two I would have went to. Okay. Scarlett Johansson is the Marvel. But anyway, I digress. The correct answer, Doug. What do we got?
That would be Twister.
That would be Twister. I love when they try that. So, Taz? No, heard noises. Did you hear they're coming out with a sequel to Twister called Twisters in like next year? I love this movie where they like try to put like sprites and stuff into a Twister. I remember being a kid because there were storm chaser shows and like the hurricane shows of trying to analyze the eye or the center of a tornado or hurricanes, which hurricanes are big in North Carolina, obviously, because they hit the coast and come up toward the mountains. But like, I remember all these shows about trying to analyze natural disasters. It blows my mind. Of course, you got it right.
Yeah, that's how it works. Take this one over here, babe.
This is my question anyway. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what you've made it to. Which one was number one? This is the music round, Benjamin. The music round for the 90s. Final round of the night. Y'all know we had to do some beautiful music. It's still the 90s. Say that. Given an artist, can you tell me which song listed of the four was a number one on Billboard's Hot 100? First, let's start off with the amazing powerhouse voice of Michael Bolton. And ladies and gentlemen, if you get over 50% in this, I'm going to DMCS anyway because I want to sing this. So you'll go ahead and nail that 50% correct. You'll get my beautiful rendition of this song. All of the songs listed were Billboard ranking songs for the singer, or yeah, the singer, unless they didn't have enough songs on the Billboard. And amazingly, there were enough people that didn't have those. You all mostly got it right. It's 57%. It's how am I supposed to live without you? Yeah. I love Michael Bolton. He makes me happy. But as you can see, let's do this. Everyone last night, and I think this is what Doug wanted to talk about. This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow. That's all anybody remembers Michael Bolton for. And I remember me and my mom used to listen to like whatever smooth listening channel it was. Was Michael Bolton what you wanted to discuss, Douglas?
No, this is not what Michael Bolton.
Okay, cool. Your
But
question, then. Go ahead.
did you know he was a major cinephile?
Yes, I did. I knew that was coming up. I sung to them for a minute because they got it over 50% correct.
Maybe not during his prime, but still pumping out hits. John Bon Jovi.
I looked at that GIF multiple times and I thought that Bon John did. You know what? Grammar me. We're going to drink again. I thought Bon John jumped. Yep. Nope. I'm done. I thought Living on a Prayer guy was was a woman for a minute.
Oh, are we in the Dio versus Dido conversation?
John Bon Jovi. I'm trying to think of what actress I think he looks like, but like it's just a small gray-haired person. I keep thinking it looks like someone that's definitely not John Bon Jovi. Oh Lord, help us.
Yeah, it's 6 of 8. I'm new here, and Caitlin.
I'm new here. Just locked in. There you go. Credit's credit. Make sure that you lock in your answer before you scroll off of the page, because if you do something weird, it'll tell us you're cheating. And I don't think you're cheating, but
All right, next one. This is all you.
Anyway, the answer to that was Places of Glory. The next one, pop group formed in the 80s, but hit their stride in the 90s. Wilson Phillips. I put this one on here. Doug and I both struggled to remember anything about Wilson Phillips, but they had like a ton of really popular songs in the 90s. I know their name, but in my head, I honestly thought that it was a singular singer. I didn't realize that it was a group of sisters.
I think it's
Apparently.
I think it's apostrophe or S apostrophe. It's Wilson Phillips's or
Nope.
some.
It's just straight up, and it's so.
Really?
Wilson Phillips, American vocal group formed in 1989. The group consists of sisters Carney and Wendy Wilson, and the daughters of Brian. They're the daughters of Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, and Sienna Phillips, the daughter of John and Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and Papas. So they were like a group of daughters of popular singers from another era.
California. Anyway, so that'd be You're in Love.
Yep.
We
That was
next
mine, so
have.
go ahead.
Sorry. We next have the voice herself, Miss Whitney Houston.
Came up with both of my question writing from Wikipedia. I always forget that Whitney Houston is called the voice for some reason. And Doug, you know what? Douglas, acknowledge me.
Sorry. Yes.
And now we'll always love you. Yep, it quit. Voice quit, but you got me.
Nope.
Life partner. What you got?
Answer is I will always love you.
How long did that spin at the top of the billboards, Doug?
Way too long.
14 weeks. 14 weeks.
That seems like a number I should remember.
It probably is. Let's shift to the Queen of Pop and her crazy run in the 90s, which is another thing we discussed last night. How about Madonna? So me and Doug are discussing. I wrote these questions last night before we started playing Hammerwatch the first time. In my head, Madonna is an 80s singer because I think of Papa Don't Preach, Like a Virgin, Like a Prayer. I think of that era of Madonna. Madonna rolled in the 90s. Like she had so many popular songs. It blew my mind. But her most popular, number one that is in this little group, was Take a Bow, which stayed for 7 weeks, 2 months in 1995.
They were a boy band that probably still lives rent free in your head. It's Hanson. we Lucas said this last night, and myself and Kim, without prompting, were immediately like, hit it.
Not only did Kim and Doug both name the song instantly, they both then said something else. You both not only sang the song at the same time, but you then followed it up with another line of something extremely funny that matched up. It was really funny.
Well, the answer is bop,
Shibba-bop.
bop.
Ooh, bop. Oh,
Shibba-dop,
that's what it
zap.
was. So I asked them both, how long did this song spend at the top? Because it was May of 97. It spent 3 weeks. Both of them in unison go, probably not that long. Also, I got cracked up because I assumed Mama Faff wrote with Grammarus because I wrote, that probably still lives rent-free head.
Well,
before the curveball.
this one as the question.
Before the curveball, we have to include the master of Latin pop, Ricky Martin. Yes, this one. Go ahead.
So last night, as
Did you go watch the music video? Please tell me you went watch the music video.
I did.
It's so good.
So as he's writing these questions, he's like, hey, this, that, and the other. He's like Hanson and this, that, and then he hits Ricky Martin, and he talks about that song, and he's like, well, Ricky Martin came out as gay, didn't he? I was like, yeah. And I have 3 screens. One of them, I have Ricky Martin and his husband staring at me, both with a good haircut and a
playing games.
Yeah, the whole time we're playing games. But
as we've always acknowledged, we have no problem. We're good. I remembered Ricky Martin coming out as gay, and I said, I assume he has a beautiful husband, married to a beautiful man. And I pulled up a picture, and it's this beautiful picture of a man. And it's correctly there's a picture of Ricky Martin and his husband. And his husband has a bowl cut, and Ricky Martin is in a white suit. It blew my mind. So I sent Doug both pictures so he could compare what I was comparing, and then didn't send any other message to him. So just all night long, he's just got Ricky Martin and his husband staring at him.
By the way. And they're both just like, and I've got essentially Discord's taking up an entire screen
monitor
for me. Entire monitor. So I see 2 versions of Ricky Martin and his husband just like out of the corner of my eye as I'm playing. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing
good, Ricky.
What's all right. Like and Ricky Martin's husband, what was it? Ricky Martin's husband to me looks like Ben Bradley. I forget his name from
the
Pitch
dude
Pitch
from
Pitch
Dear Evan
Perfect.
Hansen.
Yeah,
Pitch Perfect.
I think Ricky Martin and his husband are very beautiful men.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were staring at me made me uncomfortable tonight because I'm like, I can't. I don't know what to do with this right now. I feel very uncomfortable. Mostly because
not only have we lost all control, the stream just shut down.
Yeah, fuck it.
Your
Well,
browser has encountered an error. Please reload.
next, last one of the night.
Next, probably you. It was Legend La Vida
Curveball.
Loca, by the way. You all got it correct.
Yeah.
Good job.
Los Del Rio came out with the Bayside Boys mix of Macarena, which spent how many weeks within one at number one? I feel like I said this earlier. I might have given them an answer.
You may have.
Or
I don't know.
I don't remember.
What I love is that you have Dr. Evil doing the Macarena.
Wait, can
It's funny, Mama
can you
Favreau,
give
'cause I
me
sent
the
Doug something.
Can you give me the sounds he makes while he's doing this?
I can't because I was not a huge fan of Austin Powers, oddly enough.
That's all he says.
So, what I'll say is that can't hear. Also,
Can't hear what? But also what? Also what?
if you go look at the optional answers, I screwed up. They have no sound of us at all, apparently. Because the optional answers are the answer, then the answer again, and the one below. So I think it meant a number at the top. Okay, hold on. I gotta do some research real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't botch this badly, but crap. I have this actually on my thing. If you gotta go, cool. No, it wasn't y'all. It's us. Something happened with Doug's.
It's my
Afro. I want to hear all the funnies.
Oh, the funnies.
Yeah.
And
Is it back? I'm hip. Let's see here. What I was trying to check. There we go. I found a list of like all the number one hits in the 1990s. Scroll down to the Macarena, which is right there, which spent that many weeks.
that was it. It was
credit. Nothing Ben Puts in Wagers will let me beat him. So everybody had to peace out. I think that's it. I gave credit to Ask My Balls for this because I screwed up and I'm leaving it. I also love that Scraps and Yorkie wrote Michael Jackson, even though we asked how many weeks the Macarena spent at number one. The correct answer here, Doug, what you got?
14 weeks, which we have
14 weeks.
said previously. But
so we should have spent 13 or 15. However, Ask My Balls gets credit for 12 because somehow in trying to write 14, 13, or 15, I put down 14, 14, and 12 because I am good at things. Can you hear Doug at all now, Mama Fat?
No sound today.
Because if not, I'll do the full outro.
That's fine. I mean, just I guess go for it.
I just want to make sure y'all can. I just want to make sure they can hear me. If they can hear me, we're good. We'll do the end. That's the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Answers are submitted. We'll go check the leaderboard. I'll press the little button, which should make the leaderboard pop up. I hope you all can hear me. It's filtering through Doug's stuff. That's the bad part of it. In first place tonight, according to my stuffs, which is never correct, so it's probably wrong, is Eat My Bunghole Man with 128.49 points. In second place, I have Talk to the Hand because the bunghole ain't listening with 112.02 points. That's My Bunghole, Don't Wear It Out with 110.31. Ask My Balls with 98.79. All that in a bag of bungholes with 74.19. Doug and Patty with 70.72. Scraps and T with 63.62. I'm new here with 53.32. And Caitlin with 45.65. If you all check Well, we love you guys. Happy 90s night. Minnesota Mama Fafro out. Yeah, I'm guessing they can't hear any of this.
I haven't said shit, so it's fine.
I know you
But-
haven't, so I don't think they can hear either of us.
But for those of you who have not heard it this week, next week, last week, whatever, we're proud of you. We love you. We're amazing. You're amazing. And never let anyone tell you otherwise.
As Doug put it, we love you guys. Thank you all for coming. It's awesome to have a 90s night. We've had a ball. We've rambled about pointless stuff, fun stuff, and had a good time. But at the end of the day, we love and care about you, and we appreciate you put your time here. We hope you had a good time. Sorry about the sound issues. We'll figure it out one day or the other. It's not that important because just look at us. Love you all. Have a great end of your week.
We'll see you all next week. We'll be there Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Thursday. Have a great time. Go love who you love. Go be with who you love. We love you all. Come be with us because honestly, I need more heat in the bedroom because Allie and I only do so much when we cuddle. We want more cuddling. But anyway, love you all. We'll play some games. We're going over to Sarge's Twitch if you guys want to watch that. Love you all. Have a great time. Good night.